can't recommend this town enough. They are RV friendly and dog friendly. Can't beat that. Hey y'all, Rome Town Girl here, coming to you from Tombstone, Arizona. We are here for a couple of days and we are taking in every single thing we can possibly do. So my first stop is the Boothill Graveyard, and I already have like a million questions. Are people actually really buried here? Who's the last person to be buried here? Why did they stop burying people here? There are 250 graves here, and if you read through this, it reminds me of the television show 100 Ways to Die. There are everything from dying in childbirth because the doctor gave her too much chloroform, to a heck of a lot of people being shot over disputes, to a lot of found bodies down mine shafts. Very suspicious. And it's interesting, they have a separate section for, I guess, the Jewish people. And look at all the stones. You saw that video about when we buried my mom. I shared a little bit about the customs of Jewish burials, and the stones were a part of that. And here they are. They're here in Boothill as well. I'll tell you, one of my main takeaways is there are so many graves here that are marked unknown. And it just sort of is a reminder to me, do something. Be remembered. You don't want a headstone that says unknown. Or maybe you do, but I don't. Ooh, I think I found the answer to one of my earlier questions. I bet you this is the last person who was buried here. Look at the date. Hey look, it's the Brady Bunch. Hey, do you think it's any relation? Look at, I found Kirby in the gift shop, and she knows the answers to all those questions I was contemplating. Okay, so the first thing I was wondering is, are people really buried here?
Oh yeah, they're buried there. This was the original Tombstone Cemetery. It opened in 1879, closed in 1884. And originally, you know, when we had over 10,000 people living here, mostly in tents, you know, people died of all sorts of stuff, but suicide was big, shootings were big,
yeah,
mining accidents were big, and so, you know, we have a whole lot of people in there, like 1881, 1882, and then in 1884, you know, we started getting more society people here, and they didn't want to be buried with the prostitutes and the gunfighters and all of that. So they opened their own cemetery across town, and they moved a lot of the more upper class deceased over there, and so from then on everybody's been buried in the new cemetery.
When was the last person buried, to be buried here?
I believe it was in the 50s. 1946, thank you.
Thank you.
He was responsible for, you know, redoing the cemetery because it really went to hell for a while. They were using it as a dump.
Oh no.
Point. Yeah. And so he, you know, fixed everything up, and we had historians find out where everybody was buried and make sure the bodies were there and all of that stuff.
Wow.
And anyway, when he died, his wish was that he be buried at Boothill because he loved it so much. So they allowed him to be buried there. And then also in the 30s, I believe, Kwan Gi Ki, who was a restaurant owner, he owned a restaurant, and anybody who came in that was hungry, he would feed.
Aww.
And he was a really friendly, happy guy. And so he was really beloved, and he died in Bisbee, and his friends were like, no, they can't bury him there. They did bury him there, but they exhumed his body and brought him back.
Wow.
Here. Yeah. And he has a really, really nice grave. It's the one with the ocotillos around it.
Found it. Are there Jewish people buried here, and are they in a different section?
The city gave them a plot of land in, you know, like in the 1880s. It really went to hell when the town, you know, sort of died. And so in the 1980s, we knew it was there. And so people here took up a collection and built a memorial for them.
Wow.
Now, we don't know who's buried there, but we know they are buried there.
Interesting. Is it down that trail?
Yeah, it's down that trail.
Got it.
Yeah.
So one last thing. Is there any little fun fact that's not very well known that is you could give us the secret scoop on?
Oh boy. Everybody asks us what I'm your huckleberry means.
Right. I looked that up.
Yeah. And back in the day, huckles were the handles that pallbearers used to carry a coffin. So hucklebearer, you know, became cutified to huckleberry. So when he, like in the movie, when Doc Holliday says, you know, I'll be your huckleberry, he's saying, I'll put you in your grave.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I looked it up, it said it's like saying you're the guy for the job. You're the person for the job.
Yeah. Well, you know, it could be that too.
I like
but it's
yours
usually,
better.
Yeah. But I think the original meaning is kind of, you know, because most people, you know, who knows what a damn handle on a
casket
coffin
is.
You're a daisy if you do. And that was it. Over before it ever started. 2 months after this gunfight, Virgil Earp was ambushed outside the Crystal Palace Saloon. 3 shotguns went off, but he still refused to die. Crippled up pretty bad, Virgil wandered the west until death found him in Nevada in 1905. Well, tuberculosis caught up with yours truly up in Colorado. I don't care to talk about it. Wyatt made his way from Idaho to Alaska. Wyatt died in Los Angeles in 1929, just ahead of his 81st birthday.
I didn't bring the dogs.
Oh yeah. Sometimes pets do good down here, sometimes they don't.
My girl would do awesome. My boy would have been fighting us. So I've got the dogs with me. We got up early. We are going to have one of those old-fashioned Western pictures done. So I'm hoping the dogs cooperate, but I thought it was awesome that they'll let me do that. I'm so excited. You can get your picture taken? Are you excited? You don't know. So I have just been having the best time here in Tombstone. Before I go, I want to show you one of the reasons why that's even possible. And it's because I found this fantastic place to dry camp with your RV for just $10 a night. It has just been wonderful. I'm parked down here. The RV's safe. The dogs are safe when I'm not with them. And I can just walk on up and go to all the different cool sights and attractions. So I've been here 2 days and it's starting to get a little windy, so I'm gonna head out. If I had it in me, the 2 things I didn't get to see and show you that came highly recommended by tons and tons and tons of other people is the courthouse tour and the birdcage tour. So we'll save those for another time, or if you come, go and tell me all about them. Okay, I really gotta get on the road before this wind gets any worse. See you next time.